Boys and girls, today we're going to talk about 7 foods that you should add into your diet. Sometimes, instead of focusing on what we should subtract from the diet, we should be thinking of what to add to the diet. Oftentimes, that leads to the effect of taking away the things which aren't so healthy for you and keeping the things which are healthy for you. These are in no particular order. First, we have eggs. I think eggs should be in absolutely everybody's diet. Starting with the most obvious reason why: they're so easy to carry, transport, eat on the way, eat everywhere. They're so versatile, you can cook them in hundreds of different ways. Did you know that the original chef's hat has 100 pleats on it? And those represent the 100 ways to cook an egg. So you telling me you're bored of it isn't an excuse, because you can keep preparing it in so many different ways. There's a tiny feather on it. This is also regarded as one of the benchmarks for protein quality. It is a complete protein, which means it has all 9 essential amino acids. It is extremely bioavailable, which means that out of all that protein inside the egg, 95% of it gets absorbed into your gut. It is easily digestible. It also basically has every single fat-soluble vitamin that you could ask for. It has omega-3s, which are great for your heart and cardiovascular health. It has choline, which is great for your cognitive health. On top of all of that, it is also cheap. There is basically no reasons why you shouldn't be consuming eggs. I personally think 2 to 4 eggs a day is perfect. The only one excuse that you have for not consuming eggs, other than allergies and dietary restrictions, is because of cholesterol. However, cholesterol from eggs is often not absorbed unless you have a genetic predisposition where you are likely to be absorbing the cholesterol from the eggs, and in that case your doctor will tell you, and only then, you shouldn't be consuming eggs. If you don't have any of that, I advise you to start consuming eggs every single day. Number 2 is salmon. Now, I don't have it here with me, but there's a picture. I think salmon is one of the best foods to ever exist. Just like eggs, it is extremely bioavailable. It has all 9 essential amino acids, making it another complete protein. It is packed with omega-3s, especially EPA and DHA, which can only be found in our diet. The body cannot make them. They are so beneficial for our heart, which is why we are recommended to eat fish 2 to 3 times a week. Salmon is a bit higher calorie, but you just have to fit it in. And even when you are losing weight, salmon has to be an essential part of your diet. It also has vitamin D3, which isn't absorbed exactly the same way as we do from the sun, but it's still something, especially if you live in grey countries like the UK. Salmon is also lower in mercury than some of the other fishes. It has B12 and selenium. Again, there really is no reason why you shouldn't be having salmon in your diet. And if taste is a problem, there are so many ways of cooking it. Try seasoning it differently, try cooking it a different method. Always keep the skin on, get it crispy on the pan. Salmon is a must in every diet. Number 3, honey. Now yes, my honey does look a little bit different, but this is because I get my honey from a farm. And I'm only talking about natural farm honey today, or I guess Manuka honey, but that's if you're certain that it's real. I personally think most of the honey in the shops is not real nowadays. Here is why I think honey should be a part of every single diet. Yes, honey is basically sugar, but it's not sucrose, it's fructose, which means the glycemic index is slightly lower. This is because fructose has to pass through the liver to get digested, meaning that your insulin and blood sugar don't spike as much. Also, a life without sugar is not a sustainable one. Yes, you can do sugar fast for a week, for a month, for a few months, but at one point your tongue is going to start craving sugar. And I don't think you should be limiting anything from your diet. I think everything needs to be in moderation. One way to have sweetness is honey. You could also add it into so many things. You could bake with it. You could add it as a topping. And honey is also filled with antioxidants. Now, there is some research to state that once honey is heated, the antioxidants and vitamins and minerals kind of die. So I would suggest avoid heating it, have it raw, or have it as a topping, unless you're obviously baking with it. Honey is also amazing for the gut. It has probiotic properties, keeping your gut healthy. And again, I think one of the main reasons why honey should be a part of every single diet, and it is a part of my diet. The past 2 years I've been eating honey every single day. It is because it keeps that sweet craving down. That craving that might lead you to get processed sweet snacks. Additionally, if you do any sport like weightlifting, running, endurance sports, sugar isn't even that bad for you, because you immediately fill the glycogen stores, you go and use that sugar away, you're not as insulin sensitive, and remember, it's fructose, so it is better. Number 4 on my list is yogurt. Here I have 2 yogurts. One is Greek, and one is natural or fermented yogurt. They're both lactose-free versions because I'm lactose intolerant. And I would suggest getting a lactose-free version anyways, because it is better for your digestion. As humans, none of us are really supposed to be able to digest lactose. We stop producing the lactase enzyme as we grow up, and lactose is also not the best for your skin. And what is the difference between these two? Greek is a lot more protein packed. It is basically yogurt which has been strained to remove more water from it. The reason why this is amazing is because most of the time it is super low calorie if you get a fat-free one or a low-fat one. It has nearly 10 grams of protein per 100 grams. It is so easy to snack on. It is so versatile, just like the eggs. You can make this sweet, you can make this savory. I've had this exact yogurt every single day for probably 5 years, 4 to 5 years, with cucumber and garlic every single night as a side salad. And it is great. I'm not even tired of it. Additionally, this is an amazing ingredient for cooking because it can replace mayo, add bulk to your sauces, make things creamy, and it's another complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids with great bioavailability. Finally, it has zinc, calcium, and potassium. Do you know what these 3 are used for? Muscular contractions. Zinc makes sure your calcium is on good levels. Calcium homeostasis. Calcium is what triggers the muscle contraction. Without calcium, your muscles cannot contract. And potassium enters the cells after the contraction to relax them, get them ready for another contraction. So basically, without yogurt, you cannot contract your muscles. Now the difference in this one is that this one has live bacteria in it. The natural fermented guys usually don't have as much protein, and they tend to have a little bit more fat. That is perfectly fine, because this guy is full of bacteria that your stomach absolutely loves. Additionally, it has higher zinc, potassium, and calcium, and the bacteria helps you absorb it even better. So you basically have an optimized muscle contraction supplement right in your hand. I think this guy tastes much better. I usually go for the natural guys, especially if I'm snacking it sweet, and for the Greek guys if I'm snacking it savory. If you can be asked, you can actually buy yogurt starters on Amazon and make natural yogurt by yourself. That would be the best option. Number 5 on my list is garlic. Why garlic? Well, I think for the price that you pay for this little fucker, it is incredible to have in your diet every single day. Not only does it make everything tastier, especially when you're on a diet, it also has antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. It has some research showing that it helps with heart health through lowering low-density lipoproteins, LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, and some other research showing that it helps with blood pressure. But why I think it's actually so much better, it is because of the immunostimulatory effects that it has. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that's proven, but it's something that most grandparents believe to be true. But my personal evidence, I have 1 to 2 garlic cloves every I have 1 to 2 garlic cloves every day in that salad that I told you about, and I rarely get a cold or a flu. If I get sick, it's once a year, if that, and there really isn't anything else that I do different. I live a healthy life, I train, I eat garlic. It is also amazing for your gut and the fermentation of your bacteria, which is why sometimes when you release some gas, it can be garlic stinky. Number 6 on the list is chia seeds, or I like to call them chia seeds. There is no wonder these guys are considered a superfood. They also have omega-3s, but it's plant omega-3, which is ALA, which isn't the same as omega-3s found in fish. However, it's also anti-inflammatory and helps your heart health. But the reason why I think these are amazing, it is because of the fiber that they have and the satiating effects that they produce. These guys get into your intestine and can draw up to 10 times the volume in water, forming a gel, which helps you go to the toilet, and it keeps you full. They're so easy to eat, you can soak them, drink them, blend them, sprinkle them on top of your food. Just make sure you consume enough water. I actually really like them slimy, but each to their own. They're also super nutrient packed. They have calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, iron, which as we said helps with your muscle health, muscle repair, muscle contractions, and your bone density and bone health. There really is no reason why you shouldn't be consuming them. And they're also relatively cheap because you have about a spoon or 2 a day. Now, before we get into the last one, why don't you comment down any food that you think I missed that has to be included into your everyday life. Let's see what you guys have. While you're down there, might as well hit subscribe, like, maybe share if you found it useful. And for number 7, fruits and vegetables. Do you know how many people don't actually consume their fruits and vegetables a day? I find it absolutely ridiculous. They're so good for you. They taste amazing as well. What is wrong with you people? If you're craving something sweet, have a fruit. When you're making savory stuff, instead of going for bread, pasta, rice, vegetables first. Then comes the carb source. This is the first thing I grabbed, that's why it's them too. But I eat my fruits and veg very seasonally, which is another reason why I think they should be included into your diet, because it makes your diet fun and diverse. As the seasons change, you go to the shop, you see what's on display, and you get that. When it's asparagus season, you get asparagus. When it's strawberry season, you eat a shit ton of strawberries. It makes you excited. It makes you want to change your diet. All the fruits and veg are filled with so many minerals, vitamins, and fiber. Again, we're under-consuming on fiber so much as a population, which is terrible for your gut, especially with the amount of processed foods that we eat. The water content is also very high, so you're keeping hydrated the whole time you're eating them. They're very filling, antioxidant rich, and there is literally nothing to hate about them. Look how many seeds are in that apple. Well, there go some of them.
I don't understand how people don't like fruits.
Anyways, these are the 7 foods that I think should be in everybody's diet, regardless of whether you're cutting, bulking, or maintaining. And I think if you add all these foods in, they're naturally going to push out all the crap that you eat, because these are going to satiate the cravings, getting rid of the reasons why you navigate towards the bad stuff. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.